Hi there viewers, welcome back to Face to Face with me. My name is Sophia and I'll be your host for 1 hour. Well, let's just say 1 hour. So about today's topic, we're going to talk something with cameras. So let's welcome Mr. Randy.
Hi.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
How do you feel right now?
I feel very good, thank you.
Very good?
Yeah, thank you.
Are you sure?
Yes, very sure.
Alright. So maybe before we start our talk today, maybe you can introduce yourself briefly.
Well, let me introduce myself. My name is Randy Pradana, and I work as a photographer and also a teacher and lecturer in BINUSTV. So that's about my short biography there.
Alright, thank you very much. So I'm very sure that you're used to cameras, right?
Quite used to.
Quite used to. How many years have you, how many years have you taken up the camera, handling camera?
Well, I first take my bachelor degree here in BINUSTV.
Alright. So how are you? You took an off day for this, right?
Yeah, I took an off day just for BINUSTV today.
Okay, so we'll continue on later on. So we will get into a short commercial break. So see you. Welcome back viewers to Face to Face. So we're still here with Mr. Randy and we are going to have a really nice, great talk about photography.
Yes, thank you.
So how are your days these days?
Today it was just as usual, quite a busy day. I have a lecture actually this morning, and then I have to go through the road here, through the toll road, and it was very jammed.
Traffic
so
jam.
it was quite a day today, but I'm really relieved to get here today and talk to BINUSTV today.
You mean talk to me?
Yes, of course.
I'm really glad that you agreed to my offer, and yeah, so thank you very much. I'm really grateful that you took a day off just for this show. So how many classes do you manage in BINUS?
Right now I'm managing about 3 classes.
3 classes?
But usually every semester I take about 4 classes to lecture. Yeah.
So you teach all about cameras, about photography?
Yeah, mostly about photography, but I also teach typography and sometimes videography as well.
I see. There's a lot of skills that you have in just with cameras and photos and etc. So I have 2 trivia questions. Well, I wouldn't say it's a trivia, but it's kind of, it sounds really ordinary, but somehow it has a really big impact in each of our lives. So what is your biggest joy in life?
My biggest joy in life is when actually it was when I first took my first job. When I graduated from my bachelor degree, I actually worked as a camera store clerk. And that was actually where I have my first passion in photography.
I see.
Basically, I graduated from a design major, but at that time, I really don't know about what my future will be and what am I going to do or anything else. So my first real job was actually a camera store clerk.
Yeah. So that was your biggest joy in life, that you have found your current job or the first job?
Yes.
Okay. Then the next one will be, what is your biggest regret so far?
My biggest regret is that I think it was probably if I have managed to actually took this passion probably a few years earlier. I think it would be a lot better for my future and career actually.
I see, but well, we all know that God has plans, the best for us, so let's just enjoy our life.
Of course.
So do you still remember the funniest moment you had in your life? The funniest that you just can't forget?
My funniest moment is actually when BINUS contacted me to become a lecturer, and I never have any thoughts about becoming a lecturer during my whole life.
Really?
And the funny thing is that my father actually dreamed of becoming a lecturer one day, but he couldn't afford it. So,
I see.
and then suddenly I became a lecturer, and then my father also have a dream to become a photographer as well. But suddenly, it was actually his son that became both a lecturer and photographer. That was quite funny for me.
It's really funny now that you have told us about your father's dreams that you're currently taking on, you're currently handling on. It's I don't know. It's really I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. It's nice. It's funny, but
it's nice and funny, and actually, but my father is actually quite happy and proud because I think he thinks that his son can actually enjoy his dreams and his legacy as well.
Yeah. Well, imagining that I have a daughter and she's taking over this talk show, it will be really funny for me though.
Yeah, of course.
Well, so let's get into the main theme, photography. So what inspires you to join photography?
What first inspired me is that, okay, when I first graduated from BINUS University, as I told you earlier, I haven't actually thought of anything to do actually. So when the first chance came as a camera store clerk, at the time I have no idea about what this is all about, like what kind of camera is this and what kind of lenses are these, or who's that? Is that a famous photographer or something like that? But time after time I actually learned from my boss and my friends and my colleagues and also actually my customers about how to use the camera and how to take pictures properly. And until one day I actually managed to, let's say, join a contest on, it's a photography contest. Yeah. And then out of nowhere I actually won the contest.
Oh really?
Yeah. Yeah, and that was on 2007, and it was a model photography shoot contest.
Ah, I see.
So that's where I actually gained my confidence. Okay, I can do this. I want to take it further. So I'll take my next degree there. I'll take the photography diploma, and I went to Australia just to study the photography thing.
And that's how you return here and become a lecturer. And
a photographer as well, yep.
That's nice. From what I have listened from all the things that you have told me, I figure that you have really nice relationship with the customers.
Yes, I did, and I do still now.
You still have a lot of customers, right? To that side, we're going to discuss it later on. So, that also concludes that you found your interest in photography because you found your confidence in photography during that contest. Well, some people say it's nothing new, it's just taking pictures. So what do you think about that? Well, is it just taking pictures or is there anything else?
Well, here's the basic thing. Photography actually never changed in the basic stuff from where it started. Well, I teach the history of photography as well, so now I know. From the beginning of the 21st or 20th century, the basic is always the same, but the technology differs. So we used to take pictures using the film technology before we found any digital technology. So people used to actually think before they shoot. But nowadays, when people can afford a digital camera, they can actually shoot first and think later. So that's the whole difference. You just
shoot everything and choose which one is better.
Yeah.
I see. So what are the important aspects that one needs to join into photography or to take really nice pictures? What aspects are important, do you think?
To take better pictures?
Yeah, to take good pictures. For example, this cup of tea, maybe there's something that we can find or we can learn in the photography aspect to make a really nice photo of this cup of tea.
First of all, you have to know what kind of photography you are interested into. Like, for my case, I am really interested in shooting portraitures and fashion and wedding pictures. So I have to learn about the gestures of people and how to shoot their expressions properly, and also how to pose them properly, and also how to talk with them and actually give some confidence to my clients.
I see. I experienced a little bit of modeling because I think one of my friends, she's in animation, and she had this photography work assignment, and she asked me to be her model because her supposed model couldn't do it. So I became her model instead.
Yeah, okay.
And I don't know if you have seen the photos or not. I think you're not teaching her. I don't think you're teaching her class, but yeah, I'm not sure how to say this, but modeling is really hard, and I'm sure photography is kind of I don't know, kind of annoying in a sense, like, you know, have to design the pose and stuff. So is there any tips in designing the pose?
Okay.
Like how to, you know?
First of all, people usually think that photographer's job is really easy, and also they think that a modeling job is really easy. So
yeah.
That's what people think right now. But actually, I think a model is doing a really tough job. A photographer is also having a tough job, but actually a photographer can always, probably he can shoot while he's sitting or probably while he's sleeping. But a model have to always move and move and move. Every time you hear this click, and he or she has to always move. So that's a really tough job for me to see. But actually when I shoot the models, I never give any resting time for my models. I always tell them to move and move and move.
This pose, that pose, this pose, that pose. Try this one, try that one.
Because when the model rests, you actually lose the mood. See? So you have to keep going and shooting.
Oh yeah, well the mood is kind of, you know, important atmosphere in a shoot or a photo shoot. So you're very successful through your journey as a photographer as well as a lecturer.
Thank you.
So what or who motivates you to keep going on? I'm sure it's not just because you won the contest and you got your confidence. I think there's something that keeps you going on.
Yeah. Okay, first of all, I would like to I should thank God for that, because He gave me a lot of confidence, and really I never knew that my whole journey is going to be like this way, you know. I never thought in my whole life that I'm going to be a photographer or a lecturer, and here I am right now. And second, of course, the most important thing in my life is my family and my lovely friends, and probably my lovely girlfriend as well. They always gave me a lot of support, and they always pray for me and wish me the best.
Yeah, well, it's been a really tough journey, I'm sure, for you. You're being uncertain what you're going to be, but then you found your way, you found your confidence, and here you are, successful. I think that's really an amazing journey.
Yeah, and I think it's not enough yet. I still
not
need
enough.
To do, I still need to do some more, and probably keep challenging myself even further.
I feel that as well, although we're probably in a different status. I feel that I need to challenge myself more. I think everyone does, okay.
Yeah.
So I heard that, well, you teach photography in the class, so there must be theories of photography.
Yes.
So maybe you can share a bit of the theories. I mean, we all know that photography is only about taking pictures, but we don't know the details, so maybe you can share a bit.
Okay. Let's have a look at this little cup of tea here. Let's say I'm a still life photographer right now, and I want to shoot this clear cup of tea here. So what do I need to do? First of all, I need to learn the basics of water. If you put some light through the water, it's going to be biased. So the light is going to be probably a little bit bent, or sometimes it can be a lot bigger inside the water. So you have to put that into your mind. So having said that, you also need to learn about all this thing here, all the bubbles and all the dirty stuff on the cup. You have to clean them off first, and you have to wipe out all the bubbles here. So shooting a still life model, or say this cup here, is actually a lot tougher than it looks. You have to prepare the product probably for a few hours. Then
hours?
And then you shoot it for just 1 hour or less.
Oh God.
You have to prepare the lighting, because the lighting is really important. For such instance, if you see this part of the cup here, you can see a lot of reflections of the light, probably from the top light or from the side light, and you have to always keep that in mind. You have to check everything up and probably block some light just to not let it go through the cup. And you really have to be careful about it.
I see. That's I never thought it's going to be so detailed just for a cup of tea.
Yeah, even with me just talking, it really takes a long time, really.
So, what do you think? What is the average time for a photography student to actually learn these all settings?
Okay.
Is it going to take years, like?
I took
be
my
professional?
photography study for about 2 years actually,
2
and
years.
still for me it's actually not quite enough.
Not quite
Yeah.
enough.
So you have to keep learning and shooting basically. If you stop shooting, that's where you actually stop to gain your knowledge. And always, of course, you have to always keep getting clients, and with every different client, there's always a different case, and there's a troubleshooting for you to actually handle, so you can actually learn from that.
Well, talking about trouble in shooting, well, we need to troubleshoot it.
Yeah, of course.
So, do you think there are difficulties in taking photo, not putting the details aside or the lighting aside? So, what kind of difficulties?
When you take the photos?
When taking photos.
Non-technically, you have to learn about your, well, probably your client's attitude, probably the location, and probably the characteristic of the subject or the product, because all of that is going to count into the photo itself.
Yeah.
Let's just say you shoot a model that is actually having a very, very bad day. Like he or she might be really sad on that day, and you have to cheer him or her up just to make the photo look good. So you have to actually interact with a lot of people. Just
I never thought that being a photographer is going to take a lot of interaction process.
Yeah, of course.
So it is actually very important for a photographer to keep speaking and interacting?
Well, not always speaking, but
always.
you have to know when to actually cheer up your model, or when to actually move the subject, and when to actually cheer up your client.
I see. So, for example, let's say that you're going to, for example, I'm your model, and you have to do a photo shoot of me. So, what do you think you should, tell me, or maybe?
Okay, so you're my model now.
Okay, let's say that.
Let's say, okay, keep looking at the camera and stay still, and probably one hand here on your left hand, touch this cup over here.
Touch this cup.
Just touch the hand of the cup.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, now look at the camera.
Look at the camera.
Keep smile, and always smile.
That's it?
Keep a better smile, and you can try to actually jiggle your head and move your head along. Move your hair along.
So I think nature, human nature, is actually very important to keep it, the photo very natural.
Yes, really important.
So what kind of photos that you aim to capture? So we have like romantic, we have like natural, or do you have something else in mind?
Usually I will say that I mostly capture moments. Either it's sad, or it's happy, or it's cheerful. I try to capture the moments that is actually difficult to repeat.
Ah, I see. So you actually take what is there.
Yeah.
And usually very hard to find.
Yeah.
I see. Thank you very much. So we are going to get into a short break.
Yeah.
So yeah, there you have it, viewers. See you later, and watch out on Face to Face. Welcome back, viewers, to Face to Face. So we're still here with Mr. Randy talking about his journey as a photographer. So you don't only teach design students about photography, you have a wedding photography team, which is quite popular nowadays, right?
Oh, really?
You get a lot of clients, right? I know that.
That's a big compliment. Thank you.
So we can probably show the viewers a video, a teaser of your photography team's work. So let's see if it will play.
Saudara Topang Primadona bin Jufri Tahar. Dengan ini saya menikahkan dan kawinkan anak saya Anida binti Stanley Gandanu Chandra kepada engkau dengan mas kawin berupa uang sebesar Rp1.652.015 dibayar tunai.
Saya terima nikah dan kawinnya Anida binti Stanley Gandanu Chandra dengan mas kawin berupa uang sebesar Rp1.652.015 dibayar tunai. Berapa sah, Pak? Alhamdulillah, barakallah wa barakalaika wa jama'a fil khair.
Wow, so that was the video that your team has produced.
Yeah.
So it's really beautiful. I'm not sure how to describe it. It's just so beautiful.
Thank you. Are you going to cry now?
No. I think I'm going to cry during my wedding day, but not now.
Okay.
Are you going to cry during your wedding day?
Maybe not.
Maybe not. You're still
I'm
not
not
sure
sure.
about
Not
that.
sure. But probably yes, maybe just
Probably,
maybe.
yes. Okay, so how did you come up with the idea of having a wedding photography team?
Okay, when I study abroad, I was actually
Yeah.
thinking about coming back to Indonesia just to start this photography business because I'm really sure that I'm not going to work in Australia. So I'm pretty sure. So I actually decided to came back home to Indonesia to start this newly produced wedding team. So during the first time, probably it's back in 2010, I actually didn't know anyone, and I also don't have any clients, so I'm actually a bit confused. Okay, so how am I going to get my first client? I have no clue and I have no idea. So when I first got into contact with some of my first team members, which some still is still with me today right now.
Yeah.
And we start working together from the first time when we still have crappy camera and some crappy gears and stuff, and also some crappy shoots and techniques. But we have been working together for about probably 5 years now, and we have actually quite learned a lot, and we study a lot together with some new technologies and new camera
Trying
techniques.
new things, challenges and
getting new
stuff.
members, and so here we are now.
It's also fun. So we also have some photos from your photography team that we're going to show the viewers while we comment at it.
Yeah.
Will it show up then? I think I'm slightly gibberish today. Wow. Oh, where did you take that picture?
I took this picture in Melbourne, Australia.
Melbourne?
Yeah.
That's pretty far. I didn't expect that photography in Indonesia will take you like so far to Melbourne.
Actually, well, a lot of clients actually will take you somewhere just to get some nice shots.
Well, wedding is just once in a lifetime, so yeah. So what kind of season was it? Rainy season?
It was actually on, I remember it was about in probably May. Yeah, May, yeah.
Okay, but it looks like it's going to rain that time.
It was actually a bit rainy at the time.
Yeah, no
So when you look closer, it was actually a bit wet on her hair.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is Delon's wife,
Talon's wife.
Yeah, the singer's wife.
The singer's wife.
Yeah.
So pretty. I mean, the way you shoot a portrait, I don't know, the focus goes right to the person, and I like how the flower is, I don't know, the color.
Yeah. This was back in
it's really
2011. Yeah. And at the time, it was my second year doing this wedding stuff.
Second year, and you already got such a big client.
Well, but if you look closely, every year it was a different technique that I used. I always try to keep updated with the style of the year and try to use my own style to combine with it.
Yeah.
So it was always different each year.
So when you took this, okay, so we have a new photo right here that Talon's wife is coming.
Yeah, her name is Jesslyn.
Jesslyn, so Mrs. now.
Mrs. Jesslyn
coming out of the car. So did you take this photo candid or did you?
Candid.
Oh,
it was
candid.
Yeah.
But it looks so nice. Look at the lightning. It focuses on her like she's really holy.
Okay, so when you have shot a lot of clients, you actually can predict where will the sun's gonna be and where will the car is going to be on your picture.
I see.
And how's the mood going to be. So you can actually predict all of that. It's not going to be 100% always work, but you can actually predict it.
Oh, this picture, I like this a lot. It shows that they are both really happy. They set off the balloons, right?
Yeah, of course.
Oh my God, when will I have this kind of moment?
Probably the next few years.
Next few years. Not that easy because I have a lot of ambition for a woman like me.
Okay.
Okay, so this one is really nice. So is it natural light or did you place some kind of light
I actually
behind it?
put a flash behind the client.
Flashlight?
Yeah, it's a flashlight. It was a flashlight.
Flashlight?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's impressive. I never thought a flashlight would give such kind of, I don't know, very wonderful effects. So what's with the bubbles?
It was actually a little bit rainy, so those are water bubbles.
Oh, water
and
bubbles.
it's natural, it's just nature. I didn't actually create the bubbles.
So it was kind of, it was drizzling?
Yeah.
It was raining?
Yeah, it was raining a bit.
Oh, I don't know, that's nice. I think the weather was kind of working with you.
Yeah,
or let's say God was helping you. I really like this shot. It's so beautiful.
I never actually backed down from weather situations. Like if it was rainy, I will always keep shooting, and I never stop. Even if it was windy or it was really sunny, I will always keep shooting. And let's just get the best out of the client.
Yeah. So this picture as well, it was kind of drizzling, right?
Yeah, it was a little bit drizzly. Yeah.
I liked how the effects go when it was kind of drizzling, but then it gives a kind of crystal-like effects on it. It's really pretty. Maybe I can get this kind of shot in my wedding in the next few years, like you have just said.
You can book me from now, and we'll talk about it later.
I can book you now?
Yeah, of course.
Seriously?
Yes.
How much am I going to pay? Can I, deal with the payment right now instead of, expecting it to raise?
We can talk about this outside the studio.
Now this is very, very pretty. I don't know, what kind of dress is that?
That is actually the real dress is just a short dress, but she actually brought some kind of long slayer, and I asked her to actually just let the slayer fly.
So it was windy that time?
Yeah, let it go with the wind. So it was really windy.
Oh, I don't know what to say. God is in your favor.
Yeah.
Where did you take this picture?
It was in Sydney. In a place called La Perouse.
Ah, I see. That's nice. Maybe I can book that place as well for my wedding.
Yeah, of course. You can try.
It looks so nice. I mean, oh my God. The photos are ending. It's the end already. So let's just talk more about the wedding photography.
Yeah.
So how many different places have you been through the photography journey?
Okay, I've been to Brunei, Australia, and Thailand, and also Malaysia, Singapore. So how many was that?
Ever been to Europe?
Unfortunately, I've never been to Europe, but I'm looking to go there one day.
Okay, let me book you for Europe then.
But I am going to Japan this year, so just
so
wait
nice.
for it.
I'm so envious of you.
I'm envious of you becoming a host, actually.
Well, you can sign up for the co-host. It's coming soon, right?
We can try that.
Sure, you can try. But how long are you going to be in Japan?
Probably about 10 days.
10 days, well, that's quite fast. Well, you can come back and sign as the co-host.
Okay, we'll try.
So, through the wedding photography, so to accomplish such outdoor photography or photo shoot, what are the fundamental preparations that you always need to manage? So, yeah.
Fundamental preparations always involve a lot of health situations. You have to actually, you have to make sure that you always have a good health, because when you shoot a wedding, let's say, you actually have to wake up around probably 3 o'clock in the morning.
3 o'clock in the morning?
3 a.m. because you have to shoot the
every moment.
Yeah, you have to shoot the bride's makeup session from 4 o'clock in the morning.
Oh.
Yeah, and then you have to get prepared for the next wedding shoot next week. So you have to always manage your health carefully.
I see.
Okay,
well,
so that's the first
since
thing.
you have a girlfriend to manage that for you, I'm sure you're healthy.
Yeah, she's very healthy, don't worry.
Well, I'm sure she's the strong woman type. Okay.
Well, actually, she's quite a bit worried with my health situations nowadays, but...
Oh, aren't you too sweet?
Yeah.
So what is the happiest moment during the work? We know that you care a lot of details in the wedding photo shoot. So, yeah, what is the happiest moment?
The happiest moment, probably for me, would be... Well, let's say the ritual, you know, the ceremonial.
Ceremony?
Probably if it's a Catholic, then it's going to be in a church.
Yeah.
If it's Muslim, then it's going to be in a mosque. And I will say that those moments are usually the best thing ever happened in a wedding, because, well, you actually have to say some very sad things to your mom and dad, just to say goodbye, I'm going to leave the house and I'm going to
It's not sad, don't say it. Don't say that it's sad.
It's actually a bit sad if you hear it with your ears, you know.
Well, imagining my wedding day, I think I'm going to cry and just hug my dad and mom.
And then you're going to cry.
Probably, yes, big possibility.
Yeah.
So what is the worst moment during photo shoot? So let's put aside the health, so it's always the top priority. So let's see the other details. So what is the worst?
The worst moment is that when you realize that something is actually not working right. Like, okay, for instance, when I play the video on the wedding reception, then suddenly the screen just broke down.
Oh.
Somehow it's a bit rainy, because it was outdoors,
I
and
see.
it was a bit rainy, and suddenly I can hear a small boom, and the
Boom?
TV actually exploded.
Oh.
Yeah. It wasn't my TV, but it was the venue's TV. But still, it ruins the whole day for me, because my video has to be delayed to be played.
Oh, but I'm sure the wedding went on as...
Oh, it was okay.
It was okay.
It went on successfully.
It was just a kind of a little bit of surprise from God, probably, and then boom.
Yeah, of course.
So, okay, let's get into a question. There's one question that your students want to know.
Well, really?
Probably
my
not.
Students?
Probably not your students, but well, students that you have taught, I think. So one of your students, well, not one, just a representative of one class, wants to know when you are going to get married.
Okay. Good question.
Good question.
I'm going to look for the sender of the question.
I have no names written down.
Probably. Well, let's say
2 years.
we have already talked about it.
Talked about it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's quite fast.
But not in the near future. But let's say probably in 2 or 3 years, because we are still going to, you know, we're going to think about our careers first.
I see, and family, of course.
Yes.
So, am I going to get an invitation for that?
Yes, I will send you an invitation. Don't
Oh,
worry.
thank God! Thank you very much. I'm looking forward to it. So, are you going to rely on your team for that, for your own wedding?
I actually prefer my team to be a guest. Probably this time a guest team. But if they want to, of course, they can shoot my wedding for me. I'll be happy for them to do it, of course.
I say, well, you can always book me for the hosting.
Of course, why not?
I've been wanting to try that for quite some time, a few years, let's say. So we're going to get into a short com break before we get into our live segment. So viewers, stay tuned at Face to Face. Don't go anywhere and watch out. Well, welcome back, viewers, to Face to Face. So we're still here with Mr. Randy. We're still talking about, well, wedding photography. But then again, since we only have about 5 minutes or 6 minutes to talk about this, so I want to ask you about, well, as a lecturer or as a professional photographer, how do you judge a good photo? Well, what are the qualifications?
Okay, how do I judge a good photo? Actually, I never judge a photo based on like how good is this or how beautiful is this, because that totally depends on the situation, and actually it depends on the style of the photographer. But if you ask me about how do I actually judge my students' work, then
as a lecturer,
I can answer that. Okay, first of all, you have to have a good basic technique. So when you actually learn how to do the basic stuff the proper way, then you can actually try to do some more advanced way. You can actually try to do some more difficult ways to do, like some experimental things. But when you're still at school, please
don't try anything dangerous.
Yeah, try to do some stuff in a really basic way, such as exposure, such as focus, such as timing and shutter speed.
I see. So I have told you that I was a model for a photography assignment by my friend, which is in animation. So we're really curious. We had some kind of tough situation going on that time in the studio. So it was really hard to set the lighting. So do you have any advice? You know, the portable that you can move around the lighting.
Okay.
Do you have any advice to properly do that?
Okay. The lighting at the studio actually has this modeling light, which is the yellow light, which always startles at your face directly. Okay. The photographer has to learn how to actually use the modeling light properly. The modeling light is designed to actually have a little preview on how the shadow is going to look like on your face. So when he moves the lighting around, he can actually see how the shadow is going to form on the face or the subject. So that's the first thing that he needs to learn. And the second one is you have to make sure that the studio light works properly. If you push the trigger or if you push the test button on behind of the studio light, it has to always has a little flash, blink, something like that. And the third one is to actually have a look at the metering. In the studio, you usually have this little thing called a light meter, and it actually measures on how much is the power that you're going to need to shoot the photo properly. That is a really important thing, and sadly, a lot of my students actually forgot about all these three things.
I see. So these three things are really important in, make sure that the lighting is okay. So the problem with the lighting, well, back then, maybe the lighting was just kind of old, so it was kind of unresponsive in its own way. So well, we're coming to the end of this talk show, so maybe you can give a little bit of motivation maybe to your students or maybe to photographers that are trying to, reach success.
Okay.
Please.
Okay, to my students or probably learners of photography, I just want to say to you that photography is not a hard thing, but you have to pursue your basic techniques first, and then when you actually knew some basic stuff, you can actually try to do some experimental stuff, and then you can apply those experimental things, which is your own style, and do it on your client's wedding probably, or your client's shoot, and then you can actually have your own style. That is the most important thing. If you have your own style, people is going to remember you the most.
So keep pursuing the own style.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. So this is the end of our talk show. Thank you for coming. I had a really, really great time talking to you. Maybe we can keep in touch.
Thank you, Sophia.
Thank you very much. So viewers, we have come to the end of this talk show. Thank you for watching, and thank you for the crews for making this all okay. So let's meet again next week. Bye.